I'm Dave Banks, we're at Beardbrand HQ and we're cutting Arthur's hair and beard today. We're taking it down to the grain on top. So instead of using a magic clip or a traditional clipper, we're going to use a detailer just so we can get a little bit lower and cut out a step. Because we want the hair nice and short to feed into the foil. So I'm going to start working on the neckline. And we're going to work all the way up. And then we're going to talk about this beard. This magnificent beard. And this moustache is looking pretty epic as well, to be honest. And I think I've got my work cut out with the moustache because it was a lot longer than what my hair had to do last time.
Yeah, I know they told me there was a comment that said, someone said, it's Thanos.
It's Thanos. So we're going to use both the blades on the foil. Normally when you're kind of knocking out a skin fade, you'd be using one blade or a mixture of the blades as you're coming off the head. We're just going to use the blades flat so that we get a good pickup on the skin. And we can even move in a circular motion just to aid the pickup. Because you've got to feed the hair in for it to be cut. And I always find a circular motion just seems to get every hair, otherwise you end up with a patch where you think, well, that's not quite down to the grain. And the great thing about foils is if you're at a point where you're kind of skinning your head, you can foil it every day and you can get this finish at home. Do you have a particular favourite fragrance?
I'm a Four Vices guy, but...
Everyone's on the Four Vices today. I didn't need to move, I've got it in my hand already. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to use the salt spray.
Okay.
I'm going to blow dry the beard out.
Okay.
And we're going to see what the true length of it is, because there's a lot of curl underneath. I think it's going to pull out quite well.
Well, like I said, I look like a Bichon.
So we just want to put a fine mist on it. And then we're going to grab a dryer on medium heat. We're going to start by pulling the comb underneath the beard first. And this is where the vent brush comes in handy. Because we're going to blow air from the top through the beard.
You're brushing under, or are you just pulling it out?
I'm brushing under. Yeah, I'm brushing, but I'm not rolling the brush yet. I'm literally just I'm compressing the beard in between the brush on a medium heat and the tip on the dryer, just so you get a nice straight finish. So whilst the client's in this position, we're going to take advantage of that and taper through on the side. And then I'm going to sit Arthur up and we're going to start looking at the bottom and determining a good length and working some shaping. So we're going to go with a 2.5, so we've got 2 guard on and the lever is fully open. And I'm going to be angling the clipper so that I'm not touching the skin yet with the actual guard. I'm going to create my own graduation there. And close it down. So it's 0.25. And taper through the edges. Drop down to a 0. Angle the movies.
No, they don't have anything like that.
No, we don't, mate. Sorry.
They have cabaret though. They got live shows.
Cabaret and books.
Yeah, books.
Only Harry Potter.
You guys have movies.
They only have one novel, and it's Harry Potter.
We made like 8 of them.
Who's that Dickens character? What was his name?
Roger Dickens.
Right.
Chuck Dickens. And that William guy. Bill Shakespeare.
Yeah, I was going to say there's somebody way back.
Yeah.
I think it was Billy Shakespeare.
Billy Shakespeare. Billy Shakes. That's going to be my online name now, Billy Shakes.
That sounds like a stripper name.
It does, doesn't it? Okay, so we're dropping the top blade. So we've got a nice kind of dosage of powder on the end of there. and that's going to help this blade create a nice sharp line.
Yeah, but then you bring out like the entire thing, there's like 31 degrees. It's kind of moist outside.
Here on the corner, I'm going to push to the line instead of pulling away from the line because the hair's growing that way. If you put the blade into the beard there and pull, you'll actually take more hair than you want. Whereas if you're pushing up to the line, you're going to be kind of creating a good shape bit by bit. A quick reference check, just check my lines are. I can see it's hollow at around an inch, so I'm going to start with the first line. I'm going to use a clipper. The lever is closed, and we're going to I'm going to rest my hand on Arthur's chest, and I'm going to use that as a base to make my first impression. When you're trying to get a line as well on a beard, it's best. Some people I've seen start on the side and come across, and I just think that's such a strange way of doing it. I think you're best to start in the middle, working out each side and kind of piecing it together as you go.
But the thing is, darker hair looks way better when it's like so that's why I would never do it, you know?
Well, that's why we have to get so like have a skin to actually show some contrast. And that's why I wanted to keep a little bit of weight up here, almost like a Dave Banks approved Euro fade.
This is probably the hardest part about doing a beard, because my posture is all over the shop, and the client's a bit uncomfortable because obviously I've nearly sat in his lap, but it's kind of unavoidable, and it's worth that little sacrifice just to get that line perfect.
Well, I've been told I look like Santa, so.
The natural progression.
Can I have an Xbox?
Red, yeah. Morgan's right, or is that false?
Well, actually, but I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, Morgan's.
So I'm going to use the clipper now to kind of start shaping, and I'm going to look in the mirror to make sure that shape is heading in the direction that I want.
We did the cut right again. Next week. Just talking to me on the white Shaquille O'Neal.
So I don't want to take too much out the actual bulk through the sides. I'm just looking to take stray hairs, or hairs that have got too much of a curl in them to be part of the beard. So what's going to help as well is, as I look forward, I can see there's a touch of bulk from underneath the beard. As you dip your head forward, it's a lovely shape there. Whereas you come back, there's just something under there, yeah, that's kind of sticking out ever so slightly. But it will split into a nice shape as you pull it down. And this is where I can see there's just something going on underneath that needs taming.
I'm no longer a Bichon, I'm now a poodle.
I love the videos of those dogs, the dogs groomers where they just just like that.
Very lightly.
It's awesome. So I'm going to use a texture razor just to kind of flatten that in a little bit.
So now I'm gonna
is a really handy tool because you can kind of graduate the cut. Instead of cutting in one place, you're cutting as you're moving away, so it's going to be all different lengths all the way through. Okay, let's talk about this tash. Now, traditionally with a fisherman's beard, you would have a bigger tash. I've never really seen anything with a smaller tash look any good. So I'd probably keep the length, keep the fishtail that you've got going on, and we'll have a look at here, because I think this is where, when I say keep the length, I mean keep the thickness, yeah? Here it's
trouble on the edge.
Yeah. We've got Old Bunny moustache wax. Oh, nearly went. Okay. I'm just going to warm that in the palm of my hand. I'm not going to warm it until it's too thick.
It's a little bit more than what I normally use, or
Yeah.
what I was using.
I'm going to show you a good way of getting this into your beard as well. You may already know it. So, if you apply,
Are we still rocking the corded shears, bro?
Oh, dude, all day long.
apply the wax onto the top of
I like to
the
keep it
moustache.
real classic, man.
It can be clumpy. We kind of want it to be clumpy at this point. And then use the fine
Now you have to come in.
fine end of a comb.
Exactly.
Comb it from the middle.
Plug it in and everything.
Is that the sort of joke you pull to an apprentice? Hey, can you get me my cordless shears?
Corded shears, please. Corded ones.
We're going to flatten that bit down with a bit of wax as well. Keep it out of the
Oh,
way.
really?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's going to stand there naturally. Just kind of helps when you're styling.
When I used to be a chef, we used to
Because I want application all the way to the end.
blob the barber. Blob.
Oh, man.
Blob.
Had a professor and then.
So the key to this one is to put the mustache wax below the mustache on the side, below the lip,
Yes.
and apply it to the mustache itself.
Yes.
And then
comb it through with a fine tooth comb so that you get a good application on it. This is a bit of a long-winded process, but if you're using like I said, a really, really strong wax, it's best to try and get an even application because it will be so clumpy. So you're going to want to get that to kind of be covered in not just one spot.
Some of these guys are crazy fast though, so walk, hike, run.
Because that's as wide as that's ever going to protrude when somebody's pulling that facial expression.
There's a couple
Beautiful.
where the guys do just run like
What makes me tired is working with Carlos. Like,
I know, man, he's so demanding, isn't he?
speaking of Carlos, I'll grab him.
So we're trying to get some bounce in the beard. We're pushing up and back into the beard, trying to wind it back up, even though we've pulled it out with the dryer.
cool.
that's the one that's
I
gonna
like
Good.
I can move my neck and it doesn't really get
Yeah,
out of.
you've got a little bit more movement there.
Yeah.
one that we did with Ruby.
And I think the tash is
Yeah, I
going to
like
sit
that.
nice as well. Okay, brother?
Yeah.